Mercury Cazimi in Aquarius is here to help you depersonalize and snag an alternate, very supportive perspective on the equation that you are in the process of solving. What's up, everyone? We are back with another batch of forecasts, this time for the week of January 23rd. We've got some cool things to talk to you about this week, but first we're going to talk about Mercury Cazimi, because that is happening today on January 23rd. And you know we love Cazimis around here. We love to talk about them, but what are they, again, in case we need a refresher? A Cazimi occurs when a planet is exactly conjoined the sun within 16 to 17 minutes, depending on who you ask. And it has to be very exact. And so what happens is that suffice to say, we get the best qualities that this planet can offer. And the sun, being a symbol of divine intellect, is able to offer and translate that potency of awareness and clarity through the channel of the planet. So we all know that Mercury is retrograde right now. So we're all in process with something. We're all changing our minds, shifting our perspective. We're in contemplation. We're trying to solve an equation, perhaps. We're trying to figure something out. And Mercury says, before we move forward, we have to take a big step back and review. Or we need to consider other options. We need to consider other perspectives, or we haven't quite assimilated all of our data quite yet. And the mind is always trying to rush onto the next thing. The mind, like Mercury, is a child, needs constant stimulus. So when we're in the retrograde, it's a time of taking a step back. It's a time of not rushing into the next thing. So I always recommend that people try to maybe do like an intentional sort of like social media or distraction, take a break from those sort of things during Mercury retrograde for that reason. It's not that we need additional information. We just need to slow things down. But particularly so during the Cazimi, because we want to take advantage of what this alignment can offer us, which is clarity, which is there's often a strong turning point here where we're able to kind of reach that point of synthesis, and we reach the other side. So as Mercury lands on the other side of the sun, there's something new that we're able to understand or integrate. So I always recommend during the Cazimi that you want to intentionally kind of log off and be very receptive and be very present with your natural nervous system flow, your natural brain waves, so that we can be as receptive as possible and we don't miss the messages kind of coming in. So I always recommend taking a walk or meditating, something intentional to allow the mind to organically arrive at its own conclusions. Now, this particular window of the Cazimi, many of you might be sleeping. So here in my time zone, the Eastern time zone, the exact Cazimi is going to be from 2:30 a.m. till 8:15 a.m. So you might be sleeping. I will be sleeping for a good chunk of that. So what I would encourage you to do is to lay on your pillow for a little while. Don't rush to wake up and charge into the day if you can. If you're like me and you have a toddler, don't necessarily have that option, but maybe try to like lay in bed together. If you're like me and you have a toddler, just like bring them into your bed and just kind of let the mind organically wake up, because you never know. Maybe there's something from the dream that Mercury wants to show you, or who knows. I think that time of day is really beautiful for the meditative mind, to kind of settle into the subconscious. So it is an opportune time to tap in, if you ask me. And speaking of things that I've got going on, I am launching a course in the heart of the Cazimi. So the first tutorial will launch during the Cazimi. And that course is the power of progressions, where I'm going to be teaching about a potent timing technique. So if you feel called to join This video, I do plan to launch it a few days before. There's still time to join us if you decide. But yeah, I hope that this Mercury Cazimi is helpful and supportive in whichever process that you are in, according to where Mercury is in your chart and what it's up to. But do keep in mind that sometimes the Mercury Cazimi realizations will trickle in the next day or two. So it doesn't have to happen during this exact window, but it is a process of arriving at the other side of the matter. So that was your Mercury Cazimi astrology shot of the day, and I will catch you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also check out my website, catherineurban.com, where you can book your year ahead reading, and we can see what 2022 has in store for you. Bye.